Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Trial by Magis with Warplanes 2.0. Today we're going to be taking a look at an introduction to multi-role fighters. For this, I have selected one of my favorite multi-role fighters in the game, the Russian Red Air Force Yakovlev Yak-7 Tier 5 multi-role fighter. Now this is a tech tree aircraft, not a premium. This is acquired by going up the Russian line up to the I-16, staying on the same track all the way up to the Yak-7 here. Staying with this line will lead you up to the I-215 Tier 10 multi-role fighter. The Yakovlev Yak-7 excels at low altitude, close-in quarters aerial combat. She's a dogfighter, and she's pretty well equipped for this. Take a look at her equipment here. She carries in her nose, she starts off with a 20mm cannon, which you can upgrade to a 37mm. I recommend that you get that upgrade on her as quickly as possible. It's very, very useful for the jobs that you're going to be doing in this fighter. Synchronized above the engine bay here, you start off with a pair of 7.62mm Shikos machine guns, and you can upgrade those to a pair of 12.7mm 50 cals. The airframe increases her health pool and maneuverability slightly. That's also an important upgrade, but it's not something you need to absolutely get right away. Her engine, the M105, is somewhat underpowered to begin with. You're dealing with 130 less power than you are with the M105PF, so that's a pretty good upgrade to get your hands on. Finally, underneath her wings, she carries a total of 6 RS-82 rockets, which have a blast radius of 35 meters and do 450 damage. Now, if you build a pilot for rocket accuracy, those can be used against aircraft, but it's generally a crapshoot when you let those go, unless if you fire all of them. Very hard to hit an aircraft with those rockets. So they are best used, in my opinion, at taking out ground targets that are of particular danger to your aircraft, like low altitude AA machine guns, symbolized by a triangle when you get into a battle and you see the targets on the ground. And what you want to do with this aircraft is fly close-in support with your team's ground attack aircraft. You are the best at providing them with support because as a multi-role fighter, the Yak-7 is going to be taking less damage from AA guns and the tail gunners of enemy attack aircraft if you build her properly. Also, this 37mm cannon and that pair of 50 cals when you fully upgrade her are just absolute murder against enemy attack aircraft. So you can really do your team's attackers a favor by eliminating the competition when you get into the combat zone. And if any fighters come down to your altitude, the Yak-7 is a very tight turner, and that 37mm cannon, all the way out to 800, 900 meter range, will lay a hurting on an enemy fighter if you land a shell with it. It's completely obvious when it hits. Suddenly 2/3 of their health is gone. Or in the case of a zero, the whole plane blows up. Tactics-wise with her, you don't want to get too high on the altitude. The M105 Russian engine doesn't deal with being starved of oxygen very well, so the Yak becomes really sluggish at higher altitudes. She can climb up there, but she's not going to perform very well. And as a slow aircraft in general, being up at high altitude and not having any ground features to dip and dodge behind really leaves the Yak-7 a sitting duck at higher altitudes. So stay in your element and the Yak-7 will perform well for you. And this goes pretty much the same for the other Russian multi-role fighters. Now, American multi-roles like the Corsairs are entirely meant to be used at higher altitudes. But right now we're going to focus on the close quarters fighting that the Yak-7 and its descendants will deliver. Equipment-wise, pure maneuverability build on my Yak, starting with the lightweight airframe, the control surface adjustment, and then because airplanes are taking much more critical damage in this build, I changed out her last piece of equipment for the improved covering, which will decrease the chance of critical damage to wings and tail by 20%. Also gives you plus 5% HP, but that doesn't really make much of a difference on a fighter. Expendables are pretty much the same. First aid, pneumatic restarter, and manual fire extinguisher. Now I moved my old pilot off of the Yak-7 to a higher tier aircraft. So for builds on this with your skill points, I recommend Aerobatics Expert is good. It builds on your maneuverability. Aerodynamics Expert, not useful. That's meant for fast aircraft. Engine Guru also will improve the performance of your engine, but it's a weak engine, so the payout you'll get from that is not that much. You could also go for Battle Tested. This ability is getting more mileage now that aircraft are getting more critical damage on them, so if you get that critical damage, you're not going to lose so much of your turning ability until it gets auto-repaired. Things that are really fun on this are abilities like your marksman. It'll make that nose-mounted 37mm hub cannon that much more accurate, and you're going to be able to pull off the sniping shots more often. The Expert Rocketeer ability, that's okay. More useful with the IL series that carry lots of rockets, but rockets being respawnable on multi-role fighters as well, you might get some mileage out of that. Firefighter, not so much. Cruise flight, that's an American and German aircraft ability. Resilience, this is a good one, especially with the respawn mechanic now. This repairs all critical damage and heals all crew injuries, reduces engine and weapon overheating by 50%, and increases your maneuverability and engine thrust by 5 when you are at 30% health or below. Pretty good ability, especially for an aircraft that's going to be in the dogfight most of the time. Evasive target, this is also good. You spend most of your time in this thing turning, and while you're in a turn, you're going to be taking less damage because of this ability's activation. Raptor Strike, no, that's for Germans and Americans. And Adrenaline Rush. This is a really good one because the 37mm cannon on all Russian fighters overheats pretty quickly. And this right here reduces the weapon overheating by 25% and increases your accuracy further after you destroy an enemy aircraft. A wonderful ability to have active while you're in the middle of a furball. Well, all that being demonstrated, let's go ahead and show you a battle in the Green Machine now. This is flighted up with Tedster of the World of Warships Super Test Group with me. And I hope you learned something from this. Good hunting.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's go.
Oh, we got 2 heavy fighters.
The man who I thought was dead. Now I believe he's still alive. He's cruel, callous, brilliant. The most evil and dangerous man in the world.
Yeah, I got 1 set of ground targets to my rockets. Stop plinking me, the gun. What, did somebody die over here or something? Oh. There we are, yeah.
Zone capped.
Nice.
Alright, let's follow the blob and go south and cap that the repair zone. Incoming Reds.
Still way low.
Haha! Sniped him!
Nice.
Another one.
Only got some assist on that guy, at least. I really wish Muzzle Velocity was a shown stat in game.
Getting dicey over here. So I got
Hope
myself
we got
in
the
this.
airfield. Yeah, just run the blob position back to zone. Nice snipe, whoever got that one. Wait, why am I trying to turn with a 0? Oh, it's nil.
I'm down.
Oh, I'm the same, but I took someone down with me at least there.
Spawning from the south base.
I'm gonna switch this, I'm gonna get some points in this plane.
We just about got the middle point cap. Shoot down one more plane. I'm on this I-16.
And I got a full load of rockets and bombs, so...
He's down. Oh yeah, where'd all your friends go? Yeah, 43 over here, I'll need to handle them.
I'm in an aisle now.
Scratch that, he ate a cannon shell.
This is amusing.
Boosh.
Oh, I'm drawing all the AA.
Yakovlev. I'm going down to AA.
That didn't work. Oh, we got the base at least.
Oh, I am Boris! I am invincible!
Just until this 110.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
Oh crap, my pilot died. Get off my tail, female.
Seconds to squall line, kill yourself. Oh, no, you're in an IL. Go.
I'm low enough,
Alright.
so that works.
Alright.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed. Return into base. Do you copy?
Alright, come over here to deal with these two players, and,
Well, I can get my
let's
fighter
wipe them
now.
out. Oh, they just respawned over here.
Oh, we got a ground attack over on our northwest base.
Way to go. Victory is close.
Hello, Ski!
We have complete control of the skies.
Oh, that
Way
works.
to go.
Duh! It's glorious! Did I tell you about
Great
Howard
job
Base?
today. We'll be waiting for you back home.
KI-43 on our team did some work.
Yeah.
Good job,